Welcome back to Undisputed. Former Buccaneers head coach and current Tampa Bay resident Tony Dungy said over the weekend that Bucs fans' expectations are similar to Patriots fans' expectations from recent years. Dungy also added that Bucs fans are now asking who they will be facing in the Super Bowl. So, Shannon, in your opinion, can Tom Brady live up to these expectations, these runaway expectations?
No, because in order for him to live up to those expectations, they need to be undefeated, get to the Super Bowl, win it with a perfect 19-0 record. Tom Brady needs to be the unanimous MVP, throw for 65 touchdowns, and then he can live up to those expectations. But this is nothing new to me, Skip, because if you notice, these delusional Cowboy fans say this every year. We're going to the Super Bowl. I wonder who the Cowboys going to play in the Super Bowl. Nobody, because y'all won't be there. The Packers, you don't think, hold on. Kansas City. What do you think the fans in Kansas City expectation is? They got my homeboy, the best player in the league, and they bring back about 95% of their starting roster back. What are their expectations? Granted, I understand that this is newfound expectations for the Bucs. But, Skip, the problem that I have is that people do not understand. It takes time. Now, we don't know when the season, because we're probably going to have a shortened offseason, might have a shortened preseason, and then they're going to kick this thing off. Skip, in BA's offense, Bruce Arians, the head coach, his offense is designed to push the ball down the field. In order to push the ball down the field, you have to hold on to the ball. When you hold on to the ball, it gives the defenders an extra opportunity to get closer to you and put you on the ground. Tom understands that. We started to see things last year. When they started to dial up the pressure, Tom had one of the worst completion percentage. He started to flinch. We saw that, Skip. That is unrefutable. And defensively, I know they were number one in the rush, but they were 30th against the pass. And it seems like the secondary is their weak link. So when you're 30th against the pass and you have a guy that led the league in sacks, what's going on, Skip? So the expectations, I believe, for the Bucs are unrealistic. I get that you have Tom Brady, but he's a 43-year-old Tom Brady, and he's not used to taking this kind of punishment. In this offense, he's more susceptible to getting hurt because of holding on to the ball for extended periods of time.
So I loved how you initially tried to make this about the Cowboys and the Packers and the Chiefs, when we are talking about a team that just 3 weeks ago was the Succaneers. Just 3 weeks ago, this was the most woeful franchise in all of sports, with an overall career winning percentage of .387, worse than any franchise in any sport. And now, all of a sudden, Tampa fans are harking back to the glory days, or I should say sort of day, because it was singular, of the Super Bowl that came after the 2002 season. That's a long time ago, but that's the last time, the last period that they wore these uniforms. They have just revived and sort of updated. And that was all planned before they were able to land the great Tom Brady. So all of a sudden, it seems fortuitous. It seems meant to be that, oh, we're going back to the Super Bowl era uniforms. And all of a sudden, Tom Brady picked us. He picked the Succaneers. Well, what would you think? Because Tom Brady, we all know, does his homework. He studies the way very few people have ever studied the game of football, this side of Peyton Manning. And he knew full well when he chose the Buccaneers and shocked the NFL world that this year they are going to have the Super Bowl in their home stadium. No home team has ever played in a home Super Bowl. And you know it, that deep down, the GOAT is saying, I got a shot here to take a team from 7-9 to play in a home Super Bowl. How great would that be? Well, that would be the ultimate watch this to Bill Belichick. And you know and I know Tom Brady is going to be all-time driven to show Belichick how wrong he was, to completely and consistently disrespect Tom Brady over the last 3 years that he was a New England Patriot. So yes, these are runaway expectations, but this is exactly what Tom Brady wants. He's trying to fuel the expectations. He's the one who's trademarking everything that's TB times TB. Anything with Tom Brady, Tampa Bay in it, he's trademarking. He finally did the show that he loves the most, the Howard Stern show, last Wednesday. And then he's moved into the great Derek Jeter's Ocean View mansion in Tampa. So it feels like a harmonic convergence of everything is right on time coming together. And Tom loves it because what's his number one goal is to recreate a Patriots-like winning culture in Tampa. And to do so, you need a groundswell of support from the community, and you need every player in that locker room to start thinking, gee, now we're going to walk on the field thinking we can win every game, when obviously last year at 7-9 and the previous, say, 15 years, the Bucs walked on the field half thinking that they were going to lose this game, or at least that they could or should lose this game. So Brady will be on fire with the momentum of this because, as we know, he didn't ask for more money. He didn't ask for more control. He just asked for the phone numbers of his offensive teammates so that he could at least FaceTime with them during our quarantine to get to know them and what they love the most, what routes they love, what they're off the field, what they're all about. So he is already starting to recreate a culture. And I loved what Tony Dungy said, because this feeds into the new culture. It's a winning culture because it's all a mindset. You know this from your 2 Broncos Super Bowl teams and your Ravens Super Bowl team. When you walked on the field, you thought you were going to win the game. And Brady's trying to teach a whole new community and locker room how to feel walking onto the field like this is going to be our game. I love this, and I think Tom will feed off the frenzy of this.
Well, Skip, I think the thing is for me is that when I had John and I had him under center from 90 to 98, there's something to be said. See, even when I had the Ravens defense, and I believe that's the greatest defense of all time, historically great defenses, it still was predicated on what? If our quarterback does not turn the football over. When you have that guy under center, there's something different about you. You expect to win. You know we might not play our best, but we're still capable of winning this game because we have that guy. That's how it is in Tampa. But Skip, this notion that Tom Brady said, you know what? The Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay. Let me go to Tampa Bay. Tom Brady knew full well of the teams that were interested in him. Tampa had the best supporting offensive staff. Yeah, Kansas City might be better, but there is no place for him to go in Kansas City. Say the Saints, their comp, nowhere to go. Seattle with Metcalf and the Lockett and those, nowhere to go. This was the best situation. Tom Brady is full aware of his legacy. Tom Brady was well aware of what this means. I've got to go somewhere that has weapons offensively so I can still showcase what I can do. Skip, he wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't going to Cincinnati. He wasn't going to the Bears. He wasn't going to some team that we don't have offensive firepower. Tom Brady, the Super Bowl could have been played on the moon. And I still believe Tom Brady was going to end up in Tampa Bay because they presented him the best chance for him to show he still can play at an elite level. It had nothing to do with the Super Bowl was going to be played. It had everything to do with the supporting cast on that side of the football. So this notion that Tom Brady wants to go, he wants to be the first to play the Super Bowl in his backyard, no. Tom Brady wants to show that he still can play at an elite level, and Godwin and Mike Evans and Brady and O.J. Howard presents him with that best chance. Cincinnati was in the line for a quarterback. I think Cincinnati was saying, okay, we get Tom Brady, we'll trade you a Miami 3 first-round picks to get Joe Burrow. But he wanted no part of that. So stop this notion, Skip Bayless. Tom Brady was full aware of what's going on.
So, Shannon Sharp, we probably talked for 3 months about all the possibilities that Brady could take advantage of in the NFL other than the New England opportunity if, in fact, there was going to be one. We talked about all the possible destinations, and I don't think we ever even brought up the possibility of Tampa. Maybe you did, but I don't remember you bringing up Tampa, right?
No.
So did this not come out of the blue? Did you think it was a slam dunk for Tom to go to Tampa because you never said that before he suddenly shocked the world by going there?
No, Skip. For me, I said the biggest thing for Tom, what's most important to him is not location, it's his ability to win right now. For me, Indy, because of the offensive line, they have a sound running game. They got T.Y. Hilton. They got Jack Doyle. They have pieces in place that, they just traded for Buckner. And so they still have cap space. They can go into the draft. They can draft a receiver if that's what they want, if that's the direction they wanted to go. So I thought the best situation was probably Indy. My whole thing was, Skip, it's about winning. It's not about being comfortable. It's not about, the school system isn't very good. Tom Brady understands he needs to win in order to make this thing right. In order for him to be right, he has to win. It's not about playing, he wants to play till he's 48. That's fine, well and good. The longer you play and the less you win, the greater Bill Belichick's legacy gets enhanced. Because you see, he had 3, 4, 5 years without Coach Belichick, and he couldn't get it done. So in the process of him thinking that he can play till he's 48, all he does is increase Coach Belichick was right, because you see, he hasn't been back. Tom needed to win. And looking at these weapons around him, Skip, they present him a favorable opportunity